Now, let's get this going. Our first speaker, just because it is very, very early in the United States right now, is Phyllisa Deroze, and we're heading straight over to her because she just got up. It's 6:30, I think, Phyllisa, and you have to really wake up your little child and bring her to school. And that's why you are the first speaker today. Phyllisa Deroze from the United States. On blackdiabetic.info.com, you can find more about her. And you'll be speaking about misdiagnosis and LADA and unity in the diabetes community. Phyllisa, take it away.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's morning for me, might be evening for you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you very much, Fashion, for the invitation. Of course, I woke up early just for dedoc day. Everyone, my name is Phyllisa Deroze, and like Fashion said, I am from the U.S. I'm actually down here from the Miami area in South Florida. I've lived in 3 countries, and I've managed diabetes in 3 different places, and I enjoy traveling. I was diagnosed with diabetes 10 years ago, at the time when I thought my life was perfect. Everything was going great. I had just finished my PhD in English literature, a goal of mine that I had had since I was 18, and I was starting my first job as a professor. To a degree, I thought that I was living my life like it's golden and nothing could stop me. And then I got sick. I ended up in the hospital with DKA, and it was there that I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. At the time, I had no idea that misdiagnosis was a thing, that misdiagnosis could be an issue. And so I lived with that diagnosis for 8 long years. I managed my diabetes with insulin. I managed my diabetes with orals. I even managed my diabetes for almost 3 years with just diet and exercise. It never occurred to me that I was misdiagnosed. Through this diagnosis, I learned 3 important things. And that's what I want to share with you today. One is that misdiagnosis in our community needs more attention. After I had lived 8 years with the type 2 diagnosis, I experienced DKA again. Because I knew what those symptoms were like: extreme thirst, frequent urination, quick weight loss, even though in the beginning I thought it was a good thing. But there comes a point when you're losing 2 pounds a day that you know something is wrong. By this time, I had the equipment to monitor my blood sugar, and I was well aware that I, for whatever reason, would not go below about 250. I didn't know to ask for type 1 antibodies to double check to confirm my diagnosis. And it took over a year asking 2 different endocrinologists for tests for me to get it. So in our community, misdiagnosis needs more attention. The second thing is we need to have more conversation across types. When I was diagnosed with type 2 and I discovered the DOC, I was so excited because it's the first person in my immediate family who's diagnosed with diabetes. I felt so alone. But oftentimes when I would go online, the DOC seemed rather uninviting for people who were diagnosed with type 2. And so we need to be more open and to have those conversations and to be more inviting and to make sure our space is a safe space, no matter the type of people with diabetes. The third thing is that my LADA story matters. Being diagnosed with latent autoimmune diabetes in adults 2 years ago, I experienced a change. It was emotional. It was physically taxing. It was confusing. I was angry. How could this happen to me? Like I said, I had lived in 3 different countries. I've gotten care, and yet here I am living with type 1 diabetes, but misdiagnosed. And so as we think about our diabetes types, remember all types. There are things that unify us, and we're all in this fight together. When I started my blog, Diagnosed Not Defeated, from my hospital bed, that became the motto in which I lived by. So even though I have been misdiagnosed, and since then I've discovered that it's not that uncommon and it needs to change, I'm here to say that I've been diagnosed twice, but I'm still not defeated. That's my awareness campaign. Thank you so much for your time, Bastian.
Great story, but also for that call for unity. Diagnosed, twice diagnosed, not defeated. Here you are smiling at us. I remember meeting you just after you became aware of that misdiagnosis, and also in the struggles of, am I staying where I am? Am I moving back to the United States? And all the questions that came up. I remember how shocked you were about all this and the conversations we had at the time. And it's great to see you here, great to see you smiling at us. And thank you very much for calling out for this unity, especially towards the other types, the not type 1 types, because it is something that we ourselves here at dedoc are to some degree guilty of, that we've been very type 1 focused. I myself am type 1, of course. Many in the community are type 1, but we need to be more open to the many other types, of course, especially also the type 2s, but also the LADAs and MODIs. And today, this doc day, and it's not something we plan for actively, but this doc day today will be a lot about stigma and about other types of diabetes. So thank you for opening it so emotionally, and we'll get to some of these topics. And now you please run off, wake up your little daughter, bring her to school, and I hope to see you at a doc day in the future again.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Phyllisa. Thank you very much. 6:30 in the morning now, 6:25 in the United States, in Florida.